The best way to get better at programming is to practice. And in this example, we're going to implement Runnable, which is an interface that allows us to extend one class and then still implement a way to have threads. As always, these files are available using a link provided below in the description. We'll pause for a couple seconds so you can download this, and then we'll continue. All right, so let's get started. We're going to need to do two things. First off, we're going to come in here after example 2 and say implements Runnable. Runnable, just like thread, is part of java.lang, so we don't have to import any libraries or any packages. So that makes it easy. However, you're going to notice right away that example 2 says, oh, we have to inherit an abstract method, run, and therefore we must override that and implement it. So I'm going to come in here and say public void run. This now makes my example 2 error go away because we now have overridden that abstract method. And just like in our previous example where we extended thread, I'm just going to simply print out system.out.println inside the thread. Okay. So the reason I'm doing this is very simple. I'm checking to see is what I'm running inside the thread or inside the main application. Okay. So the run can work the exact same way as when we did extends thread. We can have Boolean operators in there to check to see if we need to keep running this. We can have timers, whatever we need to do. Okay. This is a very simple method. All right. So what are we going to do? Well, let's create an object and test this out. So I'm going to say example 2, and I'm going to call this tester once again, equals new example 2. All right, so that's easy. All right, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a thread object. I'm going to say thread, and then I'm just going to do lowercase thread for its object name, equals new thread. And then I can pass in a lot of different stuff, okay? The key thing that I want to pass in, what I'm really looking for in this example, is I'm going to pass in tester. So when I pass in tester, this says, hey, create the thread, and now it knows the method run is going to be there, so it knows to be able to start it. So now I have to come in here and say thread.start. You can see that, and that's going to kick off that run method because I passed in my tester object, the object that implements Runnable. So we're going to take that, we're going to run this real quick. And just like in our previous example, we have yes inside our main loop. Yes, we have inside the thread. If we go through and count them, we should see about 100 instances of each. But the key thing and the main thing we want to see here is the fact that they're grouped together because the thread is running at its own separate timeline, separate from the main application. So it's getting a chance to sometimes bunch up the thread ones, sometimes it's bunching up the main loop ones because it hasn't had a chance to start up that main thread again. It's just a matter of what is it doing, what does it have time to do. So this is a perfect example of using an interface instead of extending thread. It lets you do the same thing. Gives you a little bit more flexibility in case you had to extend another class. And since Java doesn't let you extend multiple classes, this is a great workaround. Hopefully you found this example helpful. If so, please give it a like and consider subscribing so you can see other examples on how to get better at programming.